Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today we have a question from Koashanier, who says, Hey Ramsey, I have a question. What do you think, or how do you feel, about Bruce Lee as a philosopher, a martial arts thinker, inventor, writer, or is he overrated? Not talking about his skills, just his thoughts and opinions. Thanks. All right, my friend, I'm going to call you K because I have no idea how to pronounce that name that starts with a K. My friend K. A lot of people out there watch some of my videos about Bruce Lee, and they say, you're a Bruce Lee hater, because these are videos about dispelling some really ridiculous myths about Bruce Lee. For example, Bruce Lee could sidekick 17 men 65 feet in the air in half a second. Yeah, that's absurd nonsense, and saying that that is absurd nonsense is not hating Bruce Lee. That's loving the truth, which is what Bruce Lee was all about. So here we have the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Tao is Mandarin, Tao is Cantonese. So Bruce spoke Cantonese. So let's pick a language and stick to it. Haven't read this book cover to cover for a long time. But after reading your question, I pulled this out, started reading some of the snippets here. And Bruce said a lot of really great things that almost everyone in the world can get behind. And he said a few things that make us scratch our chins and wonder. He wrote a few things in the form of Zen koans, for example, the 6 diseases, which he wrote about on page 201 if you got your books to follow along. The 6 diseases: number 1, the desire for victory. Number 2, the desire to resort to technical cunning. Number 3, the desire to display all that has been learned. Number 4, the desire to awe the enemy. Number 5, the desire to play the passive role. And number 6, the desire to get rid of whatever disease one is affected by. Number 6 seems to contradict all the others, right? Seems like Bruce is pointing out some problems like, hey, you want to win, so there's something wrong with you. And so you feel bad, like, oh, the desire for victory is a disease, so I should get rid of this disease. And then in number 6, Bruce is saying the desire to get rid of whatever disease one is affected by is the 6th disease. And so we're all confused. What the heck are we supposed to do? Do we want to win or don't we? And then we go back to Bruce's whole be formless, shapeless, like water. Whereas if we affix a desire to ourselves, as far as Buddhism goes, Buddhist thought, that runs contradictory to Buddhist philosophy, where we are attempting to rid ourselves of desire or live without desire. However that goes, I'm not really sure, because I'm not a Buddhist. But they have some very interesting teachings that a lot of people can learn a lot of things from. So what is it? Are we supposed to desire? Are we supposed to not desire? I don't get it, Bruce. I don't really understand your treatise of the 6 diseases. But it is interesting to think about, and I think that's the whole point of a Zen koan, which is just to get us to think about stuff, to provoke thought, deep thought, as opposed to just hearing a fun little aphorism like, do it this way, and then we're like, yeah, I'll do it that way, pat on the back. Because when we hear a seeming contradiction, like, what is the sound of one hand clapping? That's the sound of one hand clapping. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah. Anyway, when we hear one of those Zen koans, we tend to think deeper thoughts than we otherwise would have. But moving outside of the realm of Zen, what else did Bruce Lee talk about? The very last thing written in the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. I really like this. And this is also very confusing, considering the way the Jeet Kune Do has been interpreted by the constituents of the style of Jeet Kune Do over the years, and that is this. If people say Jeet Kune Do is different from this or from that, then let the name of Jeet Kune Do be wiped out. For that is what it is, just a name. Please don't fuss over it. And then you go to the comment section on any video about Jeet Kune Do and what's happening, people fuss over it. And that's the thing about Bruce Lee that gets me called a hater when I try to stand up for what Bruce actually taught. Pursue the truth. Don't fuss over the nonsense details and the names and the styles and all this crap that doesn't really matter. And when I point that out, the people who want Bruce Lee to be something that he wasn't, the people who want him to be a dogmatic prophet of dogmatic doctrine, they get angry when they hear Bruce's philosophies reiterated in someone else's voice. Oh, they hate that. So, I'm actually a great admirer of Bruce Lee and his words and his work. I know that may be hard to believe, having been excommunicated from the Church of Jeet Kune Do and disowned by the ravenous, crazy Bruce Lee worshippers out there. Admire the man, don't worship him. I think he would have liked that. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.